Reach into your pocket or your kitchen drawer. That lighter you find, there's about a 70% chance it was made in one single county in China. Not one country. One county. Last year, that one county produced around 15 billion lighters, and the factory that made yours earned a profit of less than a single penny. I work in export trade. I move products out of China for a living. Today, I'll show you how one small county came to own the lighter in almost everybody's pocket. And why, even though the whole world knows exactly how they do it, nobody can take it from them. The place is called Shaodong in Hunan province, central China. Now let me be precise, because precision is the whole point of this channel. We are talking about disposable plastic lighters, the cheap ones, the fancy metal lighter in a collector's pocket, a Zippo, an ST DuPont. That's a different business made elsewhere, and Shaodong does not dominate that world. But the everyday plastic lighter, the one you grab for $1 or $2 at a gas station and lose a week later, 7 out of every 10 sold anywhere on Earth come from this one county. The numbers are hard to picture. At full tilt, Shaodong can turn out about 50 million lighters in a single day and around 15 billion across a year. More than 65,000 people there earn their living from it, and the lighters ship to more than 120 countries. And it doesn't make one lighter. It makes whatever each market wants. Bright, colorful flint lighters for Southeast Asia, windproof torch lighters for the Middle East, the plainest, cheapest model for African street markets, small, dainty ones aimed at the women smokers in Japan, higher-end windproof and cigar lighters for Europe and America. One county, quietly reading the taste of the entire planet, with a range that runs from a few cents all the way up to cigar lighters that sell for over 100 yuan. One county. Lighting cigarettes, stoves, and candles on every continent. So how did a place you'd never heard of 30 seconds ago end up here? Here's something most people don't know. For 60 years, the lighter industry has been running away. It's what economists sometimes call a floating industry. The barriers to making a lighter are low and the profit on each one is razor thin, so the whole business drifts constantly toward wherever it can be made cheapest. Like a weed floating on water, it never stays put. Watch where it floated. The disposable lighter was invented in Japan around 1961. Then through the 1970s and 80s, production drifted to Europe and America. French and American brands led the way. But labor there got expensive, and the weed floated on. In the 1990s, it landed in Wenzhou, on China's southeast coast. At its peak, Wenzhou had over 3,000 lighter workshops and made something like 80% of the world's lighters. Sound familiar? It should, because the story didn't stop there. Costs in Wenzhou rose. Tougher safety rules abroad, child-resistant requirements, anti-dumping cases, piled compliance costs onto small workshops. Hundreds of them closed, and the industry, true to its nature, started floating again. This time inland, to a cheaper place, Shaodong. So, here's the real question, the one I promised you last week. This industry has spent 60 years escaping cost. It abandoned Japan, abandoned Europe, abandoned even Wenzhou. So why did it stop in Shaodong? Why doesn't it just float on to the next cheap place? Vietnam, India, Africa. The answer is the most important idea in this whole video. The answer is not cheap labor. Plenty of places have cheap labor. The answer is something Shaodong built that almost nobody can copy. A complete cluster. Think about what's actually inside a lighter. It looks like one cheap throwaway object, but a single lighter is built from more than 40 separate parts. The housing, the valve, the spring, the flint wheel, the gas chamber, assembled through about a dozen automated steps and checked against 15 safety standards. One of those parts, a flow valve no bigger than a grain of rice, is what keeps the flame steady whether you're in a stiff wind or high in the mountains. Across all its different models, The county produces more than 200 kinds of components. In most of the world, sourcing parts like that means dozens of suppliers in different cities, even different countries. In Shaodong, every one of those 200-plus component types is made within a 20-kilometer radius. A factory can order a part and have it on the assembly floor in 30 minutes. The county has more than 100 lighter companies, and over 80 of them exist only to supply parts to the others. Across the street from the assembly plant is your spring maker. Next door, your valve supplier. The entire supply chain fits inside one county. On top of that, they automated. In one welding workshop, 200 workers on 2 shifts were replaced by 40, and daily output didn't fall. It jumped from 1 million lighters to 5 million. The labor cost of making a single lighter dropped from about a dime's worth to less than a fifth of a US cent, and they cooperate. Back in 2002, the factories formed an association that sets guide prices and shares shipping, so instead of destroying each other in price wars, they hold the line together. Now you see why the floating weed finally stopped. To beat Shaodong, you wouldn't need to build one cheaper factory. You'd have to rebuild 200 factories side by side, with the workers, the machines, and the decades of know-how. All at once. Nobody on Earth can do that. The industry that ran away for 60 years has finally found soil it can't leave. So let's come back to that number from the start. On the street in China, this lighter sells for about 1 yuan, roughly 14 US cents. And here's what's remarkable. That price has barely moved in 20 years. Over those same 2 decades, a bowl of local noodles went from a few cents to well over $1. But the lighter, packed with real precision engineering, still goes for that same 14 cents. But that's the retail price. The factory itself sells the lighter for only about 3/10 of a yuan, 4 or 5 US cents. Its profit on each one, about 1 Chinese cent, less than a fifth of a single US penny. So, how is this a business at all? The exact same way the incense was in last week's video. A razor-thin margin, multiplied by an almost unimaginable volume. 15 billion lighters a year. One single company in that county makes over 3.6 billion lighters annually, all by itself. About a fifth of every lighter on the planet. And the entire county's lighter industry, all 15 billion units, earns a total profit of only about 1 billion yuan a year. That's the whole game. A sliver, times an ocean, and when one of those lighters reaches a gas station counter in America, the journey looks awfully familiar. It leaves the Chinese factory for around 5 or 6 cents. It ships as hazardous cargo. It's pressurized flammable gas after all. So the freight per unit runs higher than ordinary goods, but spread across more than 1 million lighters in a single container, it's still a fraction of a cent each. Add a small US import duty, lump in the port fees, and it lands in an American warehouse for about 7 cents. An importer marks it up, a wholesaler marks it up, and it reaches the gas station shelf at somewhere between $1.50 and $3 a piece. From about 6 cents to $2, a markup of nearly 30 times. And here's the part almost everyone gets wrong. That $2 price is not high because of tariffs. The import duty on this lighter is a rounding error, a fraction of a cent. If you wipe the tariff out completely tomorrow, the gas station price would barely move, because almost none of those $2 is the lighter, the shipping, or the tax. It's the rent on the store, the wages at the register, and the simple fact that the moment you need a lighter, you'll pay $2 for it without blinking. Exactly like the box of incense. The object itself is a tiny sliver of what you pay. Everything else is the cost of carrying it across the world and putting it within arm's reach. So who's getting rich off the lighter in your pocket? Same answer as last week, almost nobody. Every hand in the chain earns a razor-thin slice, and the system runs on volume, not on anyone winning big. But Shaodong teaches us one more thing. The real strength of Chinese manufacturing was never just cheap labor. Cheap labor floats away the moment somewhere cheaper appears. The thing that actually locks an industry in place is the cluster. When the entire supply chain for a product squeezes into a 20-kilometer circle, that business gets welded to the ground. That is the moat. Not the wages, the web, and the story isn't even finished. The same county that built an empire on the Hunan lighter is now climbing. Its biggest factory has pushed higher-end models, cigar lighters, rechargeable arc lighters, from 15% of its output up to 35%. And the local plan is to make the cheap Hunan lighter the minority of what they sell. The weed that finally found soil is now growing taller. Next week, we leave the factory floor for the marketplace. There's a city in China where merchants seem to know what Americans will buy next year, before most Americans do. I'll show you how they see it coming, and what it tells you about the things that end up on your shelf. If you want the real economics behind everyday objects, subscribe. I'm here every week.